Today is Monday, September 16th. Fixing my camera stick. I'm trying a different setup on the camera. I've got the battery out of it, and I'm using this particular camera stick I've had for several years. It is a power bank. It's got a built-in 10,000 milliamp hour battery, and I've never used it, and so I'm trying it out for the first time. I'm going to be going to Alabama. It's about a 4.5 hour trip on the motorbike, and I'm trying to see if I could set up my camera to film the entire trip without having to stop and exchange batteries, every 2 hours. Earlier this morning I was out. You can hear the rooster, Kim's rooster up there. He crowed, and there was an answer back here. Now, somewhere back in here is where I heard that goat sound. And I have no doubt whatsoever, it definitely was not one of our goats. Our goats are fully accounted for. We double checked, because Kim come out the following day. Where I'd heard it at was somewhere right back up in there. I was right here, the road turns, and I was right back there when I was filming, and it did catch it on audio. It was right back in here. Kim was walking back here, and she heard what sounded like a goat over there. I may go walking in there. I'm not sure. What I'm looking to check out, I was all the way up there at the goat pen. If you can make out the goats way up there, I was right up there, and right at the back of it, which is somewhere right up in here behind these trees, is where I was seeing the eye shine. And what I think it may have been on this road right here. I disced all this up with the disc on the tractor, and then all around the goat pen, and we have planted this. We come in and using the friend of ours he's got a bigger tractor than one I got, but he's got a big roller. It's very heavy. Works like one of the steamrollers you see that they roll the streets with when they're laying down fresh asphalt. And the way it works for planting grasses, any type of grass, you spread your seed once you till the ground up, and you take that roller and you just roll it. You just press it into the ground, and it grows really well. If you're planting legumes and peas and beans, you got to go deeper. I was right down there, right about here, when we heard that goat sound back there. I'm looking for anything, any type of track, footprint. There's the dead pine, that big dead pine. That eye shine was just to the right of it, which I'm thinking should have been right here somewhere. There's the pine right there. Oh, it may have been on the road. There's the pine. And if you guys remember in that video when I was filming, it was to the left of that dead pine. It was right here somewhere. There's an opening right here, and something could have been standing right here, possibly. don't see anything at all that would create an eye shine. There was some string or something in a tree that was reflective, and that's what I was drawn to. That's just a piece of telephone wire, old telephone landline cord. I don't know what was reflecting the light up in the tree. There's nothing out here. There's the goat pen. That's where I was at the goat pen over there. And we was looking back, trying to see it on my screen. Yeah, I was right there. And it was to the left of that tree, which is on this side of it, but it was back here. It's back in this stuff. And I am not seeing anything. And guys, on the trails, the four-wheeler trails that cuts back, it's right on this side of the timber. It borders the timber, and where the timber stops, I do have reflective markers marking the four-wheeler trail. And I'll show this to you in a minute. We're going to walk back there and check a camera. But those markers are not high. They're not as high as what I've seen. And I am just not seeing nothing right here. I think it was in this gap right here. I'm pretty sure it was in this gap between this tree, the dead pine, and this one. I think this is where I was seeing it. And I was guessing around 6 foot, but it may have been higher than that. There's nothing here. There's no reflectors. There's none that high anyhow. I don't know. I don't see any tracks. There's nothing on the ground. And whatever that was, I thought it was some type of reflective string that I was seeing up in the trees. Maybe up in that tree, maybe. It just looked like a wad of... I do have some reflective string that we use for when we're putting up our tree stands in areas that are new to us for hunting. We do use, well, I do, Chris doesn't. I use a reflective paracord. And I take that paracord and I put a carabiner on the bottom. I clip it, well, I attach it to my tree stand, and then I let it hang. And at the bottom where I've got the clip, I attach it to the ladder going up to the stand. And when I'm walking in, minutes before sunrise, it's dark. You could see, but it's a little hard to see a stand, out in, we're not in pitch black, but it's dark enough, it's a little hard to find your stand. And with a headlamp, that string glows. Now I'll show you the spot. There's the dead pine. Right through there is the dead pine. And it was just on the right side is where the eye shine was. Now I'm going to show you where where I do have reflective markers, and I'll show you the height of them. That eye shine that I was seeing was high. Caught some vines. Ow! Some thorn vines. Okay, there should be. I'm looking for the markers. Thought they started up here somewhere. I'm not seeing any yet. They're not much, about this high. There's one right there. Right, there's one of them. And they still reflect. They're just not bright. But you can see them if you get close enough to them. But there's nothing up at the height that reflection, whatever it was, that I was seeing. There's nothing we don't have any markers up that high. You see this one? And this is, oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'll stand up next to the tree. Here's the marker right here. You can see how high they are. That's sort of the height of all of them. And we put them at that level so when we're walking through these trails, if we get out here and it gets dark on us, just the angle of our headlamp shining out in front of us, down at the ground, out right about there, it'll still reflect the markers. If you go too high, you'll see them off at distance, but when you get up on them, you won't see them unless you're looking up. I do want to thank everyone that had chimed in on the comments. Those markers came down. Got another tree down, it looks like. We're going to go back in here and I'm going to check 3 cameras, I believe. 3 or 4. I think it's 3. Ow! There's a thorn. I'm in short bridges. This video will probably be fairly long. And guys, we have members of our family that's been with us for a while. There's a group of you guys that y'all have found things in my videos that I didn't know was even there. And on a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, there's been sticks thrown at me and I never seen them, I never heard them when it happened. And I would have never known that it did happen if you guys wouldn't have spotted it and reached out to me. I'm forever grateful for you doing that. But normally if there is something that I capture in the video, I will try to add it to the title name of the video. If it's not in the title name, if I did see something, I will add it to the description for sure. But if there's nothing in the title name and nothing in the description that I captured something odd, that doesn't mean there's nothing in the video. It just means I didn't see nothing or hear anything when I was there. And there's been several instances where you guys have found stuff that I didn't even know happened. We got a storm. It's that direction of us. That's due south, so it's due south also, and it's south-southwest, but it's blowing toward the east. We're scheduled to get a little bit of rain this afternoon, but shouldn't be anything here in the next 2 hours. I haven't been out here. The last video that I showed you guys that I filmed out here, that was the last time I was out here. Got the camera set to wide mode. I think it films on, I think it's 155 degrees or 135. I don't remember, but it's this DJI Action 4, or is this the Action 3? All right, this is the Action 4. I have both cameras and I do use both of them, but they're not like the GoPro. When you put the DJI in the wide format, when you film with the screen set to the widest footage, there is no, you don't have that warp like GoPro has. You know, the GoPros, this tree right here, if it's this far to the side of the screen, it'll be real bowed. There is a slight warp with these, but it's hardly noticeable. These DJI cameras are amazing. All right, I hope I'm going to end up coming out at the right spot. Ooh, found a spider. I'm just going to check a couple of cameras in here. We're setting up some areas. Hunting season opens up the end of October for us, for archery. And I want Rosie and Kim to be able to harvest a nice buck. And if they can get them one, buddy Kenny, he'll mount it for him. And he's really good about we send a lot of work his way as far as other hunters, and we give him deer meat because he works so much that he doesn't get to hunt. Him and his wife love deer, so we take care of him every year, and in return he really takes care of us back. I don't know what that was. He has really done me right. Me and Chris both. He's really done us right when we've had him do European mounts for us and stuff. And it's, you know, you do nice things for people, and normally they'll end up doing something nice in return. Okay, I've got to cut through right here somewhere. Should have turned my map on so that I'm not wandering. Seen a pig track back there. On the trail. It's not a big pig, but it's a pig. And we don't want pigs in here. They're very destructive. I had a camera back here, but I took it down. It's right on the game trail. And the deer that I'm catching on that camera is the same deer that I always cut through right there. So we removed that one. And dogs bark. Well, these deer are pouring through right here. May not be on the right spot. I went to crank the truck yesterday morning, and I accidentally left that backup camera plugged into the cigarette lighter, or the accessory outlet, whatever that thing is, and it drained my battery. So now my truck's not starting because of that security thing. Alright, this is either from the turkeys or it's from the pigs, where I've seen the pig tracks up there where they're pushing leaves. The camera should be right there. It is. Never mind. It's right here. I gotta check this one right quick. out of the tree. Gives me 30 seconds to get away from it before it starts triggering. This is the trail. You can see the little bitty deer track right there. I'm trying to figure out, I've got a buck coming in over here at this ladder stand I put up. There's another track. And I'm trying to figure out where he's coming from. And I have not caught him on this camera yet. But he's going straight into here. Right back here, I've got this ladder stand I put up for Rosie to get her buck out of. It's right up here to the right. I'm gonna go right down this trail where I got it flagged. Good Lord, what a buck. I hope that's a deer track. That looks like a pig track. Yeah, that's a deer. Wow, that's a big buck, you guys. That is not the same buck that I've been getting on camera over here. That track is from a deer much larger than the one that I've been getting on this camera. Been getting a 6-point over here and a little tiny basket rack 8-point and some baby bucks. There's the ladder stand right there. It's in this oak. It faces that direction. The camera's almost straight out in front of it. I'm looking for snakes. That orange ribbon that's right down there, that's a big buck scrape from last year, where they've eaten all the minerals out of here. See where they're digging the ground up. See the hole they're digging right there? All of this is piled up. Alright, I'm gonna check this one. I'll be right back with you. Get this off this tree. I'm gonna let that do its thing. I'm not seeing that whatever buck made that huge foot track, I'm not seeing him, but the thumbnails are so small it's hard to tell. I got just a few video clips of turkeys, and it looks like they came in just one day. But there are, every day the camera's been here, we've had deer, including right before we got here today. These deer are traveling right here. Looks like they're going right up through there. I hope not. There's the ladder stand that puts us right on top of it. Got a pretty good view from there. And it's fairly camouflaged. I have some burlap that I will be wrapping around the top of this, some camouflage burlap. And that'll help conceal it. I can't expect Rosie to be completely still. Sitting in the tree stand, it's kind of difficult for anyone, especially for a preteen. A lot of these deer are coming from back there, according to the camera, the way they're coming in on the camera. I've not checked to see if they got a trail here. When I first set this area up and I put the camera up, there was no trail going this way. Yep, there's the tracks there, there, there. Oh, they're going this way. Going right through here, looks like. There's a rub. That'll be last year's buck rub right there. See where he's kind of skint that little pine tree. Yep, there's this trail right there. So he's alright, so it turns and it goes off right here. Right here, right in there to the camera, but it also goes that way. I don't want to go too far this way because their bedding area is this direction, or a bedding area. I don't know if it's theirs or not. I'm pretty sure that's what this trail is. This is deer coming and going. Well, they got that one beat out, this trail. Oh, this one goes straight down to where the camera is. The camera's right through there. I can see the top of it right there. It's my phone. There's that big scrape from last year. The bedding area is back there. It's pretty close, 150, 160 yards or so. That's a scrape. That's from last year. This was a big one from last year. What I did, I hung this ribbon in the tree because they're coming through and they're working that scrape. So I thought, being in that ladder stand, we could see it and be able to monitor that scrape, but I'd have to cut some stuff. Some of this I'd have to cut down, and I'm not going to cut anything. It's too close to season. It'll surely mess them up. Yeah, look at they're going right here and going around this Yopon holly right up in front of the camera, getting the minerals and pawing the ground up. For our new hunters out there, if you're looking for something to help your deer population, as far as, especially the does, you know, when they get pregnant, they need all the minerals, all the help they can get in nutrition, but it also helps with bone and antler development too for your bucks. I would recommend getting some red trace mineral salt. It's pink colored, and it's called red trace minerals, but it's granular. It's like salt, like a coarse grade salt. If you can get that and just spread it out about a 1/2 inch thick, an area, 3 foot by 4 foot or 4 by 5, just a decent sized area on the ground, they will keep coming back to it. There's another rub. I didn't see that one. There's one right over there, and there's one right there. Now these are from last year. And there's our ladder stand. If these pines weren't in the way, we could open a shot up in here, but I'm not going to cut them. Let's see where we're at. Did I get them all? Import complete. Okay, there we go. It is working. This little camera really is a fine camera. This is one that was sent to me to do a review on. Oh, from Cam Park, solar powered. Looks like it's really, really cheap. But two of the cameras I got from Cam Park have ended up being two of my favorite cameras. That one right there, I don't have to fool with it. You charge it up, put it where you want it to be, and just check the memory card every once in a while. As long as it's getting sunlight a few hours each day, the battery remains between 70 and 100%, depending on how many video clips it captures. All right, we're gonna go check one more, and then I'm gonna head back. Barometric pressure, I think, is dropping. There's a lot of deer tracks coming through here. I mean, they got tracks all over in here. They're pouring through. And this will take, if you follow this, it catches that big trail that was right in front of the camera. So that's a good sign. A couple weeks ago, I was coming through here, and there was a deer bedded up in here. And she spooked me pretty good when she jumped up. She waited till I got really close. It was a doe. Well, that's a good trail right there too. A lot of tracks on it. Okay. This other camera over here, I'm gonna see. I think I swapped it out. It's a Tasco camera. Why are the dogs so loud? Right, we have one neighbor that you have to pass before you get to our house, and it's quite a ways before you get to our house. And he has dogs. He has quite a few dogs, but they are not that loud. I'm wondering if his dogs got out, because my dogs are inside the house. Yeah, they sound close. We're going to come up to the road down here, and we're going to go straight across the road. And this is the other spot. Excuse me. I set up 2 of the 2-man ladder stands so that me and Rosie or me and Kim can hunt. I want both of them to get a good buck. So we'll let him use these deer have been coming through here. They're crossing the road right up here, not far. And they're going straight down here. But there's another trail I found a couple of weeks ago. I was walking back here and I found it, and it was going just past this area that we have set up. And so I started following it to see if that trail got close enough to where we would have a shot opportunity presented to us from this ladder stand. And there was a very loud tree break that happened back sort of off to my side, which I think was toward the creek, and it scared me. I stopped in my tracks and I left. I went straight to the road and went home. We got this one set up. This one's in the open, so we've got to hang some burlap on it for sure. There's a trail that runs right past all this cluster of oak trees here. Goes right past it, 20 yards from us, and it circles around, and it comes out right there where that dead tree is. It comes right there. Ouch. Got my leg cut by the vine. Let's see. I think let me make sure I change this camera. If I didn't change it out, I'm not going to check it because my phone can't read the card in this one. Is that the... Oh, that is the Tasco in it. I did not change it out. Crud. Yep. But I'm going to take the memory card with me. Ouch. Alright. I've got it back online. The reason I got that camera sitting here, this right here, I had some minerals out. I got deer tracks going right through the middle of it. But they're, this was a gigantic scrape. It fills with water with all the rain we had, and all this is just pieces of bark and stuff that have settled from the water puddle. This is a major deer scrape. We're gonna go this way, and I've got a small camera back here. Let's go to this one. I'm gonna check it while I'm here. This camera, I've been getting a good buck on it. I'm on the deer trail now. This is one of the trails. I was following this one when I found that other one that crosses over right over here next to the stand. See the tracks right here? There's tracks all in. Look at all the tracks. This whole area. You can sort of make the trail out right there. It goes out and it turns, and then it goes straight through there. I believe we have to go this way. Let's get back on this trail again. Right, yeah. I'm detouring so I don't go through that big spider web. Okay. you guys hear or see anything, please throw it in the comments. If you have time, if you see something that I missed, if you could take a screenshot, if you have time. If not, it's no big deal. If you could take a screenshot and a timestamp and send it to me via email, I would be forever grateful. My email is the channel name at standinggoatsrescue. I'm sorry, at yahoo.com. It's standinggoatsrescue at yahoo.com. Looking at that cluster right there. Pretty weird. It's just a natural formation, but it's odd. I'm trying to remember which way to go. I got off the trail. That's another buck scrape right there from last year. Got a ground blind down here, and these stubborn bucks, they're coming right here by it, within 10 yards of it, but they're coming behind it. I'll show you this. There's a buck rub right there on that pond. That's last year rub. I didn't know that one was there. This is the shooting lane right here. That ground blind down there. I had cameras up in here, and we figured out where the deer were traveling, which way they were going. And so we put the ground blind up here according to where the deer were coming and going from. Dad burn it. No longer we get the ground blind set up and we're ready to hunt it, the deer start coming in behind it, and there is no windows in the back of it. And I've stuck my phone out the side window and put it on selfie mode where I could see the screen, and I've used it like a rear view mirror, and I could see the deer. But there's just no way possible to get a shot that direction. I shoot a muzzle loader and a crossbow, and it's just a little difficult to shoot behind you. I got a camera right over here. But we had that ground in place, we had the ground blind in place right there. And a buck came up and made a big scrape right here. He busted these limbs up. You see where he's broke them off real bad. He's broke all these off last year. And the blind's right here. 13 yards from the blind, he's got a big scrape. He's got a rub here, there's a rub there, there's two rubs right over there, and then he's got 3 more scrapes over here. It's crazy. And no, I did not get that buck. See the trail right here? This is a new one. This was not here before. But they're coming right through. I got a camera right here on the floor trail on that big pine right there. And I'm getting 2 nice bucks on this camera. And I hope Rosie get one. I'd be tickled pink if she got both of them. Alright, this is the Joe Mini trail camera. It's that little bitty fella. I mean, he's little bitty. He ain't much bigger than a GoPro. Let me get the memory card out on it right quick, and I'll check it. These deer are coming through right here. They're crossing right in front of it. Let me see if they're got on the minerals yet. I had the minerals out and they wouldn't touch it for a while. Yep, they've been pawing at it. There's tracks in it. Looks like they've been pawing a little bit. Good. Good deal. We got one doe that was pregnant the last time I checked the camera. And that was 2 weeks ago, so she should have a baby on the ground. All right, stand by. I'm downloading 97 of them. I got 96 to go. There's a lot of them. Got one, looks like one big buck coming through. A few young bucks. They're coming right out of here. Coming right out. Stepping out on the trail. Going to the minerals. Going right up. So I can put the minerals out 3 more times here. Because we'll be hunting in that blind that's back there. Or wherever it's at. Should be right back through there. But I don't want to put any minerals out. I want to make sure they're gone the week before season opens. I don't want nothing in here drawing them in. We'll still be putting minerals out, but not where we have hunting stands. The minerals will be, we have a few dedicated spots that we put minerals out for the deer just to help them. Still downloading, got a ways to go. I didn't bring a water bottle with me, and I'm sure wishing I did about now. But anywho, look over here and look and see what they're. That log right there is solid lightered. This right here, you guys up north, I don't know if you'll have this. This is all lightered. It's the heart of a pine tree. And if it dies and it remains standing for years and years, all this pine sap, it'll sort of settle back into the heart of the tree. And it leaves behind this lightered. And it is extremely hard. Termites cannot eat it. It is impervious to bugs. And it'll last forever. You can see the color of the turpentine in there. It's red. But this stuff burns. Oh, it's strong too. And it's got a very strong pine odor to it. And if you want something to start a fire with, you can break one of these knots off right here like that one, or that big one. And all you need is splinters, little toothpick sized splinters. And you can soak them in a bucket of water all year long, pull it out and hold a lighter to it, and it'll flame up instantly. This is where it broke from. This is the heart of the tree right there. That solid fat lighter. All of that, everything you see right there's fat lighter. There's another one right there on the ground. There's a piece of it. We got so much of it out here. You guys up north, I looked into it years ago, and there's a market for this up north. And when we got to digging, people are selling boxes of this, small boxes of it, on eBay, and they're getting $8 and $10 for a box of this stuff, and that's all it is. You got to go out in the woods and find it, and then it doesn't split like normal wood would split. I don't know if you can see this camera does not film up close real good, but it sort of has a clear look to it. The redder it is, or the more gold it is, have a gold and a red color, like an amber and a red. That's the turpentine that is petrified inside of it. Or it's hardened, it ain't petrified. It's not stone. It's just hardened. But the trees that are already down, some of them have a little bit of fat lighter in them. But if you find a pine tree that has died, it's been dead for a long time. Even if it's just the root, if they just got a stump, a little short stump like this sticking up, if you can get a tractor to get that thing up out of the ground, the entire root on it, and sometimes them roots will be 10 foot long and as big around as a 50-gallon barrel. But that root, the entire root, will be solid fat lighter. And if you depend on a fire 7 days a week throughout the winter time or throughout the year, one root ball, one stump of a pine that is turned into fat lighter will easily last you the entire year as far as getting your fire started. You can't burn it in a fireplace. It gets too hot. You could burn your house down with it. That stuff's incredibly hot. But you can use pieces of it to get your fire started. Put just a little pile of kindling in there, and then put you a few slivers of that fat lighter underneath it. You light that fat lighter and it burns to ash, but it leaves a real heavy black smoke behind. Walk right here for a minute. I don't never go over here because we're almost on the boundary line. Looking for my trees. Somewhere right up in here where we're at is the boundary line, property boundary. And this is a friend of ours owns this block here. And he won't mind that I'm over here, but we don't come over here and hunt on his property. Look at all the deer tracks in there. God, they got that trampled down. It's like they've been digging. Yeah, our buddy here, him and his wife and some of their friends and family, they hunt over here on this side. He's got areas set up where he baits deer, and they feed them year round, and then they shoot them when they come in to the food pile. We bait them up before season starts just to get an idea of what deer that we have in that area. But once hunting season is fired off and running, we don't have any food on the ground for them. No sweet feed, no corn, no nothing. Let's see if I can get to that piece of fat liner. These deer are coming through right here. Look at this. Got a trail going that way, and I got a trail going right through here. You can see all the foot impressions from the deer. And this right here is that other piece of fat lighter I'm showing you right here. Oh. See how it's got that red look and that gold look? That stuff is rock hard. You could drive a nail with it. All of that's fat lighter right there. That stalk right there is fat lighter. There's another piece of it right there. Stuff right there is gold. Especially to the people into the outdoors, the survivalists. I think that's what you call them. I'm gonna see if this. Yeah, it'll come up. Yeah. Oh, good Lord, that's heavy. Oh. That thing wasn't 2.5 inches in diameter. Here's our This is the boundary line. If you guys see the ribbon, there's an orange ribbon, there's a pink one. Our boundary line is a little this side of it. We're over just a little bit. Got a pink ribbon right there. That's the, see, was that? I'm double checking. Okay, yeah, that's our true boundary right there. Right here, I can see the next one in line. That's the true boundary. Looks like there's a big tree down right there. Is that a bear? I'm gonna go back up here. I think that was a bear, you guys. I just don't want to deal with a bear in this deer trunk. I've got a phobia. I'm scared of bears. I'm very scared of bears. I am armed, but I don't want to be in that situation where I've got to pull the trigger on an animal. Especially if they're just trying to protect themselves or they're young and they think I'm a threat. I'm positive that was a bear. How are we looking? Oh, let me check. Okay, delete those. Alright, I'm just, the others go. Alright. I think my batteries are dead in this. Oh yeah, we got a good buck in here. Alright, I'll add these clips to the end of the video. I cannot add them in the center. When I do that, it screws up my audio for some reason. Put this back in right there. Put this one back in here, and then we're going to head out of here. I got to turn this back on right there. And once it, alright, we're on menu right now. It's all the way over. Yep, it's counting down. Okay. Alright, let's go. Getting out of here. I hate to get and go like that. I don't know if that bear seen me. I'm pretty sure he did. From what I've watched on TV, they're like super smart. They got good hearing and really good sense of smell. He wasn't big. I don't know the weight. have no idea how to judge weight of a bear. I just don't know it. But he was about the size of a, say, 300-pound wild pig, which a pig is a very dense animal. A 200-pound wild pig is smaller than an 80-pound Labrador Retriever. They're longer and wider, broader, but they're not taller. We'll be on the road up here in a little bit. I just want to get away from down there. My heart got to racing when I seen the black and I thought it was a shadow. And I thought, no, it's not a shadow. It's a root ball where a tree fell. And then it's moving. It's right over it's close to where the bank drops down to the creek. It's really close to that. Whoa, big spider web. I mean, it may have been a beaver or something, I don't know, but it had very black and very shiny fur. It looked pretty coarse. So we're going back and keep the camera going in case we see something to film. So if any of you, if you do see something that I didn't mention, or you hear something that I didn't hear, please let me know. If it's easier to throw it in the comments, if you could do that. I don't get hardly any time to go through my comments. And I quit trying, it just got way too hard. But our brother Don Moore, he does check them for me, and he does respond on my behalf. If any of you are wondering, Don Moore is part of Standing Goats Rescue, and he is a tremendous help to me. I wish he lived closer. You guys be seeing him on video a lot, because I'd have him out here with me in some of these areas. I smell something dead. Smells kind of musky though. Can't tell which way the wind's blowing. It stinks. It's not real strong, but I can definitely smell it. Wind's coming from that way. Yeah, it's coming from back there. I'm not going in that mess. No. I'll look for the buzzards. I don't smell it no more. Yeah, there's something dead back there. very similar, sort of musky, like a wet dog. It's been running real hard. Sort of a musk smell like that, but it smelled rotted at the same time. We have coyotes out here, we have bears, we have bobcats, and possibly panthers on this property. This is the fork. This road here takes you to the south end of the property. This road goes to the west side. And I don't have a road going this way yet, but we will have a road going to the east side eventually. I've just got to get a bigger tractor, something that's got the oomph to knock stuff over like this. I need to get the roots out of the ground. I really need an excavator. I'm going to cut through here, make it a little shorter. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I do greatly appreciate it. Where did that come from? Folks, I'm not far from the house. I'll turn right here and I'll be there. Gotta let the doggies out so they can go potty. Maybe Kim's back home by now. I just want to throw a short video up, and I was going out to check them cameras, and I always film it. I don't normally upload that footage. I rarely upload that footage. But most of the stuff that we have captured through the years have been when I didn't know that I caught it on film. And it was one of you all that spotted it and reached out to me and let me know what was caught. And so I'm going to upload this anyhow, and if there's not nothing there, I mean, that's a good thing. That'd be a wonderful thing if we didn't capture anything. But if we did, please, if you could put a timestamp in a brief description in the comments so the rest of our family can see it. If you get several people coming up with the same thing, you know, that's normally a pretty good indicator that there's definitely something there. So thank you all for hanging out with me. If you want to see the clips, the video clips from the deer I just took off of these cameras that we just checked, they're coming up next. I'll put them at the end of this. We're fixing to sign off. I love y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day, an enjoyable week. Be safe in all you do. Be kind to others. And I'll absolutely see you guys soon. Be well and be safe. Bye-bye.